Welcome back everybody to the Apps for Beginners series. This is a little cozy lo-fi beat that I made in BandLab, the app that we're going to be talking about today. The awesome thing that I love about BandLab is that it is free. Now I say free with a tiny asterisk because they've added a membership option that they've been adding more premium features to, but all of the basic music making features of BandLab, including the virtual instruments, the sample packs, the audio effects, etc., are all free and you can start making music in it today. And these virtual instruments do sound pretty good. I love this piano sound, and I'm using today the Tempo Key K25 by Sonido, who is the sponsor for this series. I'll tell you more about them in a bit, but first let me tell you about why BandLab is like one of my #1 recommended apps, especially for beginners. First of all, if we just take a look at this project here, you can see that I've got audio, including audio that I recorded of my voice with cool effects on it. I've also got some samples that I pulled from BandLab's sample library. These percussion samples. These drums, all from the free BandLab Sounds samples. And then of course, I already played you the piano, but I've got MIDI instruments as well. Beautiful sounding piano. So this works like any other multi-track DAW you can imagine. I've got my timeline here. I can build up musical ideas throughout. I got a mixer where I can adjust everything, mute and solo tracks. And by the way, today's video is not going to be a complete beginner's guide to BandLab, but I have actually been working with BandLab to create educational videos about the app. I'll link to those if they're out by the time this video is out in the description down below. They're going to be on BandLab's channel. And let me just show you how much you have to work with in BandLab. I'm going to add a new track here, and you can see that I can add a new audio track, a guitar track. This is an audio track that's built for guitar, so you get amps and effects right on this track already. If I go to FX, you can see that I have a whole host of first recommended effects chains. So let me click on this Britpop rhythm chain and let's look at it a little bit. We have an amp effect, a cab effect, a noise gate, fuzz screamer, a spring reverb, and a digicompressor. That all was loaded up within like 2 clicks. So if you're a guitar player, boom, you can jump right in and start recording your guitar with a specific tone and specific sound. That also goes for vocals as well. There is built-in auto pitch on this thing. So you essentially have free vocal tuning built into an app. Even if you weren't going to use BandLab as your main DAW, but you didn't have access to auto pitch or an auto tuner, you could just use BandLab's auto pitch. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. I want to hit the plus button and I want to just go to virtual instruments. So you can see that there's several different categories listed here at the top, and then a whole list of different types of sounds that we can pull into our project. Here, let's pull in this flute sound. That didn't take long at all. Now I do have my MIDI controller here, which we could of course play on the screen as well. Not only that, it's especially beginner friendly as we can change the keyboard mode to smart keys. Which will give you a keyboard with notes that are only in the key of your project. And we can also use a smart grid, which is just another easy way of playing notes. All right, so we've got the virtual instruments library, easy way to play notes. And then we've also got a big sample library as well. If I go to BandLab Sounds here, what you're seeing is a list of all of these sample packs. And if you can see the little subtext underneath each one, you can see how many samples are included. I'm gonna play a preview. The Soul R&B pack. And this is something that I think gives BandLab a huge edge over some other basic music making apps, is they have commissioned so many artist-made sample packs across different genres. And you can just go grab and start using these for free. Okay. All right, let's actually click into this pack so you can see. So there's 111 samples in this pack that we can just instantly bring into our project. There's a little bass line. And I can sort here. Let's sort by instruments. Let's sort by beats. That's going to give us our drums. Find a drum loop here. And if you want that sample, you just hit the plus button and it drops it into our project. So it's right here. And this is not going to make sense at all in the context of our little cozy lo-fi beat, but gosh, that sounds bad. But a time stretcher to fit the project, which would be convenient if you weren't trying to fit like a crazy garage drum sample into a cozy, slow lo-fi beat. But again, another very beginner-friendly option. Now, in the previous episode, we talked about Koala Sampler, which is a very, very powerful sampler, very much drawing inspiration from the SP404. But BandLab, again, free BandLab, also has a sampler, not nearly as robust and as fun as Koala, but it's a sampler nonetheless that works a little similar to Koala. You can hold and record a sample, and then you can edit those samples. Say the start and end points, the tone, set it to one-shot mode, change the color, and then you've got your little sample there, which, don't forget, syncs up with our MIDI controller. Now, since I mentioned the MIDI controller here, I want to point out that the tempo key is especially good for mobile setups because depending on what kind of device you have, I'm using an iPad mini here, you might be using your phone. It might cause issues if you're trying to make music on your phone and connect a controller. Your device might not be able to supply enough power to your controller, but the Sonido tempo key, in addition to its USB-C port, it also comes with a port for a power adapter, which I'm using here today, and I'm using it in conjunction with this mobile charger. That is what is allowing me to run this little setup where I can use the USB port on the iPad so that I can connect it to the dock so you all can hear whatever kind of music we're making today, but that I can also supply the tempo key with power so it's not pulling a bunch of power from the iPad. So that's a very, very thoughtful design decision. And of course, the tempo key is beautifully designed anyway, but it doesn't just go as far as the controller looking pretty or it having a really cool USB cable that it comes with. There's without a doubt a lot of thought put into the design of this controller, and it's why I recommend it, especially for mobile music producers who are looking for a solution that will just work with your mobile devices. And if you need extra power, you can get it. Link down in the description to check out the tempo key and other Sonido controllers. So back to the sampler, it's not just about recording your own sounds into the sampler. You can also import audio and video from your camera roll or from your phone, and you can also browse all of those sounds we just talked about. So if I go and search BandLab sounds and I search kick, for instance, if we were looking for a kick sample, I can scroll through the packs. Oh, Beats by J Black, he's pretty dope. Let's see what he's got. Oh, some crazy 808s. All right, let's drop one of those into our sampler, and there it is. And you can just start building up your kit that way. So it's like a free sampler, free sample packs, free virtual instruments, and a free DAW essentially to build your track in. Oh, if you're writing lyrics, by the way, just click this feather button and add your notes or your lyrics to your project. You've always got that. And then when you save your project, you can also open it on the computer. BandLab is also a web-based DAW. So if you want to jump from your mobile device to any computer that maybe you can just open up Google Chrome on, you can open up your project from anywhere in the world. Just log into your account and open up the web browser and you're working on your music. So I think it's like super versatile and it's not super dependent on the gear you have, as well as the fact that most of the features of the app are free. That's what has me recommending it to a lot of beginners and why I definitely wanted to include it in this series. Let me know an app that you think we should cover next in this series, and let me know if you haven't tried BandLab before, but you're gonna go right from this video to making music in BandLab. I would love to hear from you. But that's gonna be it for now. Thank you so much to Sonido for sponsoring today's video. Check out this cool tempo key, my friends. Link is in the description if you're looking for an awesome MIDI controller that does very well with mobile music making setups, by the way. Shout out to all the members. Thank you all so much for all the support. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Apps for Music Producers series. That's going to be all for now. Thanks so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.